If you're posting content and still hearing crickets, you're not alone. And in fact, I was there for quite a while until I started to figure these things out. So let's talk about the 4 things that actually convert content into clients. First of all, stop posting for vanity. Don't worry about how many comments, how many shares, how many likes you're getting on a post, even how many impressions that social media tells you. While it's great, you want to get more, you want to grow, the thing is, the more value and the more storytelling that you can do in your content, the more likely you're going to get people to reach out. I've had several times, and I actually have a client right now where he didn't like the post. He didn't comment on the post. I didn't even have a link to my booking calendar link for him to be able to book a call with me, and yet he did, simply from the way I shared a post, a story about me using a virtual assistant for myself and how that helped me out and the scariness behind the thing that I was delegating to this virtual assistant. And he actually reached out from that. So sometimes people might see your stuff, but they don't like, comment, or anything, and then all of a sudden they're there in your DMs or they're on your calendar already. So stop focusing on the vanity behind social media and focus on the value that you can bring. Number 2, call out your ideal customer within the first 3 seconds. So it can either be calling out your ideal customer or calling out an idea of what it is that you're trying to talk about and who you're trying to talk to. So if you noticed in this video, I didn't necessarily say, hey dadpreneurs, or hey guys under 25, or I didn't say a specific audience, but what I did say is if you have content that you've been posting that's still getting crickets, so in other words, you're not getting content doing anything, you're posting content, but you're not seeing any results from that, that's who I'm talking to. So I said that within my first 3 seconds. So you need to make sure the content, especially videos, but even text posts or text content, also needs to be calling out that person within that first sentence, that first couple of seconds of the video, so that you know that I'm talking to you and that they know that you are talking to them. Number 3, use before and after or behind the scenes type content so people can see what you do for work. People love behind the scenes, but people also love before and after. There's actually a guy that I know that cleans pools, and people love to see the nastiest pools out there. They love to see that before, just, oh my gosh, how green is that water? How nasty is the side of that pool? And then he'll show the after where he's cleaned it up. Now he can take anything, the nastiest thing ever, and make it look like the clearest, bluest water out there. But then also behind the scenes, which I've had plenty of clients that have shown behind the scenes, and myself as well, when we talk about behind the scenes, people feel related to that person. They love to see that. And the thing that I like to say with content when it comes to the behind the scenes is you want people to be like, oh my gosh, they're just like me when you're posting that content. But if you're always just really polished and you've got a tie on and all this stuff and you look prim and proper all the time, while people can relate to that some, they can't relate to it completely because that's not you all the time. We know that, but you're not showing that. Showing behind the scenes, I'm not saying you need to be in sweatpants or anything like that, but showing behind the scenes that people don't see most of the time, that's going to relate with people and realize that you are a human, that they want to work with you because you are who you say you are, in the good and in the front of things and behind the scene. And number 4, it should go without saying, but I feel like I need to say it because I see a lot of you not actually doing this, and this is engage back on comments and DMs, because that's where the leads are. Most people are probably like you. I'm guilty of it as well. I'll look at something, maybe I'll like it, and I'll move on. But when I actually engage on somebody's post, that means I'm very interested in that. And then if especially I send a direct message to them, that post really got me thinking, or I really wanted to reach out to that person. So anybody that's truly commenting on your stuff or sending you direct messages, get back with them. Because as well, the algorithm helps pick up on this. But if you don't re-engage with them on a comment, if you don't message them back on direct messages, your content is not going to be seen by them, and your content is not going to be seen by others because of that engagement, that back and forth. So make sure that you're actually engaging on that content. And I'm sure for those of you that are on Instagram, even on YouTube, some of these channels on YouTube, there's phenomenal video and picture content on those platforms, and yet not a lot of engagement. I know when I first started with social media, I thought I need to make sure it's super polished. I need to look very professional, all these things. But when I started actually just posting about my life, the business side of things, what I've actually used, especially with my service of virtual assistants, when I talked about things that I've actually delegated, how I felt behind that, how clients have felt behind that, and really pulled the layers off kind of behind the scenes of what's actually going on, what's underneath the hood, people started engaging more. But when I just focused on only education and telling you, oh, here's why you need to do this, here's why you need to do that, here's how you do this, people weren't engaged as much. And so with your content, you want to make sure that you're educating, of course, but also pulling back the layers and showing behind the scenes. So if you want content that actually works, I'd be happy to get on a strategy session with you to help you create some better content, come up with some ideas that will help you have more engaging content. I'll make sure to put that in the first comment below. I'll pin that so you can book your strategy session with us.